Hey guys, so I'm sitting editing. It is a Friday. I'm not normally here on a Friday, but there is a reason. Sadly, Nathan's taxi driver has to go to a funeral, so we are picking Nathan up later. That is not the point of this video. The point of this video is about my migraines. So I don't entirely know how honest I've been about my migraines on here. I got diagnosed with chronic migraines years ago, at some point in my teens, early teens, and I have multiple triggers to migraines. So sometimes they just come on, sometimes it's stress. So when I was doing like my GCSEs and all those things, I had pretty much chronic migraines and had medicine all the time, and I was taking it in school, being discreet about it because I didn't want anyone to know I was taking these meds because they were quite strong painkillers and these, that, the other. I have luckily, knock on wood, not had to go back on those super strong painkillers in a very long time. Sometimes I get migraines because of my hay fever, and that tends to be like here across like my eyeballs. I have started getting migraines again. Now, I kind of didn't think much of it. I thought they were hay fever migraines, so I started making sure I was taking my hay fever medicine all the time and just being super careful, not being outside, protecting my eyeballs, wearing my blue light glasses. And even though it has dulled them down, it's not helping. I've also noticed that it's starting on one side and then spreading across. So that when they start on one side, it usually means it's just a generic migraine and there's nothing I can do about it. Migraine is a headache, but what a lot of people don't understand is it can be crippling, particularly if you get migraines the way I do. So lights, smells, just in general, can be anything, can be actually really hard. The lights, even though I have a steady light on here, I can actually feel it like flickering slightly, which is a pain, honestly, and it's painful. I do need to put my blue light glasses on. But I also, when they get so bad and I'm in agony, they can affect my ears. It can make me sound really congested, but I also get blurry vision and like black spots. And when I have migraines, I can't look at patterns or like the TV. So you know how the chevron patterns and things like that, looking at those make it worse. Migraines are not simply like headaches. Headaches I can deal with when I have just a headache, and I get those quite frequently too, which is a symptom of my migraines. I can handle that. I take a couple of paracetamol and I get on with my day and I'm fine. A migraine can take days, weeks, and on the very rare occasion months for me to get over, and we're now getting back to a point where this is happening. Migraines are making my days harder. I've done a lot of research. I really don't want to go back on high strength migraine medication if I don't have to, and so I have been looking into what they call a medical Daith. I have contacted somewhere local that does them, and it's just a piercing here. I'm actually going to go for one if I can get it and have it done in this ear, because this side, my left side, is worse than my right. It is a little frustrating that we are now getting to this point, and I know that there are medical people out there who say that this doesn't help, this, that, the other. I am aware that you can get acupuncture and things like this, but I don't physically or mentally have the time for appointments such as acupuncture, all those sort of therapies, because I have to look after my family, and so they have appointments and things like this. And really, yes, migraine appointments are important, and I will be talking to my GP about the fact that my migraines are coming back, but I just want to see. I have always considered getting another piercing. I had heard of having a Daith piercing. I wasn't entirely sure, and it wasn't until I learned that a Daith piercing can help with headaches and migraines that I started to really look into it. I have done months worth of research, and have decided that actually if I can get this done, I'm going to go ahead and do it. If I do get it done, I will obviously film the process if I'm allowed, for you guys so you get to see what it's like. I'll also show you like the after having it pierced and sort of the pain level and how I feel about it. I know that some piercings, like this one, burnt a little bit afterwards. That was fun. So I think I'll probably, if I get it done, I might have a similar sensation. Yeah, I'm just letting you know because I want to share these journeys with you. In general, everything else, mental health wise, is fine. My anxiety and depression are actually really low. Everything mentally is really calm, which is nice. My skin has been really, unirritated. I do have mild eczema. So when I was younger, I had really bad eczema, and as I got older, I just found that the eczema died down. Some of that comes from the fact that I am really good about moisturizing and keeping on top of everything. So I try and do that as much as possible. Just the migraines have now got to a point where they're not manageable, and I'm looking at all my options, and a Daith piercing is one of them. So as we're going on this migraine journey, I thought I would bring you guys along with me so that you could see and experience with me. And if you are having similar issues, know that you're not alone. Migraines are horrible and very misunderstood things, and any way I can help, let me know. Leave comments down below. I'm happy to share my previous experiences if you want me to do a more in-depth experience of what having migraines when I was younger looked like for me and how it impacted my day-to-day life, my activities, and sort of my exams, and how, you know, interacting with other people. My parents, bless them, even with their own mental health issues and health problems, have been really good about looking after me, particularly when my migraines, and I'm going along with my migraines, getting really bad ear infections when I was younger, you know, making sure that I was safe, because when my ears would go, as well as my migraines, I would be completely reliant on everybody else, because my ear infections in both ears would mean I had no balance and then I couldn't see because of the migraines. So I was very much reliant on being fed and taken, walking around the house, etc. by them. That's the end of this clip for now, and I will see you when I have more information and if I'm actually going to do this or not. And if I won't, I will let you know why I didn't go through with it and that clip as well. Okay, so I know I said I'd speak to you when I knew for sure what was happening. I checked my emails this morning because I contacted them by email just because it is more convenient for me being able to like go back and check everything. I have officially booked my appointment for July the 5th, and I am going to get my dates pierced. Right, so tomorrow I am getting my dates pierced. And yeah, how do I feel? I thought I would, so I'm getting this done because A, I think it's cute, and B, there is a very, very minute chance it will help with my migraines. And actually minute because we don't truly know whether it will or not. I know piercers say it doesn't, there are now medical professionals that say it does. Honestly, I don't entirely know what to believe at this point. I've had chronic migraines where like I get the auras, so like the blurry vision and all those sort of things, since I was about 12. I'm now 27. They're not fun. I've been on multiple high strength painkillers, and sure, they help. They do. But they're not, at the end of the day, you can't live on painkillers for the rest of your life. So, well, I mean, you can, but I really don't want to if I can avoid it. So if this helps, this helps, even if it's a placebo effect. I'm going into this sort of very much half glass full, grain of salt situation. And I will keep you updated on what is happening as it happens. I'm obviously going to do this video and then I'll do another video of how it's healing, things like this. How am I feeling? I've ordered some saline spray and these things just so that I've got them, so that's turning up tomorrow, as well as what else? Like these Q-tip, like on the go ones. I'll leave pictures of everything I'm talking about on the screen. And the reason I got the Q-tip ones for like travel, etc., is because in August we're supposed to be going to my granddad's, which will be the first time I've seen him since 2019, which is kind of sad. Me and my granddad is a really complicated relationship, and I'll get into that in a separate video. But yeah, so the reason I made the final decision to just go for it, to try the Daith piercing, and it helps my ear, it helps my migraines, great. It's a really cute piece of jewelry. I know it's a long time of healing. It's anywhere between 3 months and a year. I'm expecting it to take like a year. Is because I've had clusters of chronic migraines. Now yes, I'm coping, but I know from experience that this is just the start. So I thought, why not? What's happening is I get a cute piercing out of it. Like, and I have to live with chronic migraines, which I know how to do, and I know there's other things out there that can help me, like the ice pack, like head packs and stuff, which I am gonna invest into because they're not too expensive, things like this. So how I'm feeling day before piercing is I'm a little anxious and I'm a little nervous. I have anxiety, so the anxious feeling is nothing new. Not truly surprised that I feel anxious. Sorry, I didn't know if you could hear the TV. Not at all surprised I feel anxious. If anything, I would be more concerned if I didn't feel anxious. I know I'm going to feel anxious tomorrow as well. Honestly, I'm going to take painkillers with me tomorrow, just in case, for after. Because I know people say that if anything, it's kind of more painful after the piercing, because they have to obviously like thread the jewelry through, etc. So if I have painkillers on me, I have them in case I need them. And then, you know, if I don't, cool, I can always use them. And the worst happens is I end up with a headache, so I take them for that instead. I mean, to be fair, 9 times out of 10, I'm usually got some form of painkiller on me anyway. But I will be taking, if I remember, be taking the slightly more heavy duty stuff with me, because you never know. But I'm bringing you guys along for the journey. I don't know how much of the actual piercing video footage I'll have, but I will try and get as much footage as possible for you guys, for anyone who is interested in getting this piercing, because I know a lot of the videos on YouTube are getting old. They're like pre-pandemic. If you do like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up for me, guys. So leave a comment down below letting me know whether you've got a Daith piercing. Did it help your migraines? Do you think that helping the migraines is a myth? Also, don't forget to check out my social medias around my head, as I do a Q&A Monday every day on my Instagram account. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you get notified every time that I upload, but also to see your name appear at the bottom of the screen like this, where I say thank you to all of my new subscribers.
The next day.
Good morning. So it is day of piercing. 1 second. There we go. Obviously, what my hair looks like before the piercing. It is 9 o'clock. What time is it?
It's 9:17 a.m.
So, I'm actually gonna start getting ready. I'm not gonna put any makeup on this morning because I just don't think there's any point. I am gonna put like my hair up in like a half braid, so the top half of my hair is up in like a braid, because then it's just out the way and it's not gonna like touch. It's gonna be out the way for the piercing, but it's also not gonna touch the piercing once it's done. And I'll probably try and do like half updos for the first week or so, not because I know it's in the ear and stuff, but a lot of people seem to struggle if they had longer hair with infections and stuff. So from the videos I saw, which were old, so my theory was if I had like this section of my hair out the way, then it wouldn't be a problem, if that makes sense. So I do also need to upgrade these piercings because, I mean, this one less so, the more this one, because I think they're actually irritating, like the material in them is irritating the skin, my piercings. So I'm gonna look into getting a couple of upgraded jewelry pieces in my ears, just so that getting irritated. And I also need to go to Poundland or a Primark, probably Primark, or is the one I'll end up going to, because I need to get like a travel pillow. I can sleep on this side. I often sleep on this side of my face, but just in case I end up rolling over, if I have it, or I decide I need to sleep on this ear for whatever reason, then I have, you know, a way of sleeping on it without putting pressure on my ear. So the only other thing I've got to get is non-iodized sea salt. I did have some for when I had my lobes done, but, well, my second hole, because I had these done when I was little, my second hole done, but I actually used it all. Or did I get rid of it in the end? I don't know, because I didn't think I'd need it again. So yeah, that's the action plan. How am I feeling this morning? I'm a little nervous. I woke up to a bit of a surprise, so we were sorting all that out. But I am fine. I don't know if Dad's coming in with me when I actually get the piercing. I'll find that out in a bit. I know he's definitely taking me into town. Whether he's actually coming with me is a whole separate thing. But yeah, as I said, I don't know how much footage I'm actually going to get of me getting the actual piercing done. But I will have a warning if I do get any of the footage, so that you guys can see, you guys can know and know where to skip to if you don't want to see needles, blood, etc. Because I obviously, people have said this bleeds a lot, so I don't know if it will, and if it does, you know, all those things. So I will make sure that if I get that footage, there is a warning right beforehand, so that you can skip it if you want to. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so the first thing, I need you to fill this one out for me. Very short.
Yeah, no.
And then, which side are you wanting it on, or you're not sure?
Left.
Not your left. Is that the side that you get
The worst,
the
yeah.
worst on?
Try the worst first.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That's sorry, come back to the other side.
Do you have any like symptoms or anything like right now, or are you feeling good?
I don't feel it.
Cool.
We've been fighting for hours.
Yeah. Okay, and then first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to show you some like patterns and ratings and stuff, and you just rate them on 0 to 5, however you feel. Yeah, just flick your way through and let me know.
2.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
4.
Beautiful. Alright, so now what we'll do is, so I'll give you a little bit of clean and everything, and then I'm just going to check it with the acupuncture meter. It will be a very loud buzz in your ear, so I apologise. But the buzz is a good sign. That's going to tell me exactly where we're going to go. If it doesn't buzz, then that's good. That's what it is as well.
Weird.
Just want to hold back forward, just create there. Beautiful. Some nice buzz in there. Hopefully. That's a really strong buzz. Is a really good sign. Mark up wherever it is. Beautiful. I'll wipe off all that ink. I just want to push it. Nice and quick, I promise.
Yeah.
Just gonna line it up, but I'll take a photo of it deeper. So
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's a bit uncomfortable, but hopefully not as bad as well. How you feeling?
That's good. I mean, I thought that would hurt more. Not gonna lie.
Good, that's good. My intention is not to hurt you. I mean, it might seem like it probably is.
Well, I know it's very close to my head. I was expecting.
Yeah.
I know there's blood in there, etc. I was expecting a lot more pain. I mean, my helix hurt like hell.
It surprisingly does, and it's not, in theory, it's not a very sensitive area
No.
either. But yeah, it's a bit of a shocker, I always find with helixes. But maybe that's because you don't expect it to be bad, so it always takes you by surprise.
Yeah, that one I expected, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, so actually it was easy, yeah.
that was painful, but I mean, I just wanted to kill, and I was like, great,
Yeah.
thanks.
Just chucked a bit of tissue in temporarily, just so I'm not bleeding, but to be fair, it's not bleeding that much anyway. As long as you're feeling alright or everything,
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll show you the gratings again and see if there's any difference. Now sometimes if you haven't got symptoms present to begin with, it doesn't necessarily make a difference. Sometimes it does, so if it's all exactly the same answers, that's not to say that it hasn't worked, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But obviously, yeah. So same again. 0 to 5.
0.
Yeah.
1. 2.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
2.
Beautiful. So some of them were the same, some of them were lower. So that could be nothing. That could mean everything. Some people say that they don't necessarily feel the effects of it until a few weeks, because
Yeah.
obviously your body's like focusing on trying to heal it. That it
Or
doesn't
give you that.
necessarily. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everyone's kind of like range is completely
Yeah.
different. It's so hard to be like, this is exactly what's going to happen in this. So that's all cool. So in regards to the actual piercing itself, it will be very similar to like your helix. So a couple drops of that solution on like a cotton wool bud, yeah, probably find is the easiest thing. Top bottom twice a day for about 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's
Then you should be able to stop and change it. They are very difficult to change yourself, just because of where they are. So if you want to come back, there's
Yeah,
something we can do
that's
for you. And then in regards to the survey side of things, so you will, well, you probably will have already had an initial email already, but then they'll do like a check, I think it's check in a month, and then it's 3 months, 6 months, and then a year. Obviously, if at any point you're like, I don't want to be involved in this anymore, I'm not interested, it's not good. Yeah, well done then.
Thank you.
Well, I hope it works for you in some respect.
Yeah. Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
2 hours later.
I am back. I think there is a small clip of me getting pierced. There's no needles, no blood in it, because I just left my phone running in my bag. So let me talk you through this. I go in, I fill out some forms, I've got my hair up, just to say, hey, you know, I'm willing to be in this study, because I did technically get what they call a medical Daith, which I think is slightly different than a normal Daith, and I'll explain why. Fill out all that form, they give you a study number, and I'll get some emails today, 3 months, 6 months, a year down the line, etc. So anyone who's had a migraine, who's been into a clinic or anything like that, will know that you sometimes get the probes in your head, but you also can get like little acupuncture clips that go in your ears to measure all that jazz. So she gave me, once I filled all the paperwork out, signed the consent form, I sat on the table. She handed me some, well, first she handed me some cards. So they tend to be, if I can find like images of it, I'll leave them linked on the blog, but on the screen. But they tend to be like different circles, like different patterns and lines to see the reaction you get. My face physically twitched and things at some of them, so she could tell they weren't that comfortable for me. The smaller lines and like the more contrast can be more painful, particularly if I'm going through a episode of chronic migraines. So that happened. Then she took a little metal thing that's connected to electrical stuff, and basically it's like an electrical acupuncture needle. So she ran it along the top of my, I'll show you on this. She ran it across this nerve here, and then she ran it actually also in my ear, like here. So the machine really freaked out. It buzzed a lot. She was kind of surprised, but that's fine. These things happen. So that happened, and then once we did all that, she marked the 2 spots where she got like the biggest buzz noise. You'll know what I mean if you've been into these studies before. I have sadly done multiples of these over the years. And then she lined it up. I felt like the tip of the needle touching. Didn't think much of it. And then she said take a deep breath. So I took the deep breath and then I let it out. And so pain. I understand that everyone's pain threshold is different. I will admit that my pain threshold is a little bit high. When you live with chronic migraines, backaches, things like that, you kind of get used to pain. So this wasn't painful. Quite honestly, this, which I had done many years ago, this little black ring here, hurt in my like mid helix, hurt way more. Like way more. So I do have just a curved barbell, and I will invest in some other jewelry at some point just for when it's healed, but I'm probably not going to touch it till like Halloween or later, just because obviously it is a brand new piercing, it is healing. You should never touch it before the recommended amount. She did say a minimum of 12 weeks. She did also say I could go in and get it changed by them, so I might do that. I might go in, see what they've got like Daith Piercing wise, and get it changed by them, just because then the first time it's been changed, they can check it out, make sure like it's a-okay and good to be changed. I did buy their solution, so hang on. This piercing cost me $75.50. You can hear my dad in the background, I'm sorry. He's on the phone with Amazon, which is a whole different issue in itself. So I got this piercing, one second. So I picked up Blue Banana's Pro Piercing Ultimate, and the reason I did that was because it's small. It's 100 mils, so I can travel with it. I can just fling it in my bag, you know, those sort of things, and like some Q-tips. I did buy some that have the liquid in, still unwrapping, and I'll get into that in a minute. So thank God I picked this up, because there was some drama. So this was $7.99. The piercing was $17.50 because I had a, not $17.50, it's $75.50 because I had a £20 off. So if you go to Blue Banana's website and you're interested in getting the actual medical Daith piercing for a short period of time, they have a £20 off. I will leave all that information linked down below, as well as all the aftercare that I have, because, you know, I also have some painkillers which I've already taken. But as I said, the piercing was really easy, and I will show you cleaning my piercing, but we were dealing with things. So on to, and before we get into the drama, I also picked up this. I actually picked up 2 of them, but I picked up this pillow. So if I fall asleep like this, it stops my head from like fully falling and things like that. But also in the car or like traveling, etc., I can use it because people recommended for like having a travel pillow and putting it so that you can rest on the side of your head without your ear touching your bedding, etc. So like that. As for cleaning it so far, the first time I cleaned it, I just took at the recommendation of my piercer, I took a Q-tip, drenched it in this, gently went round the 2 balls of my piercing, and then I took, now there is a little bit of blood on this, so if you're not interested in blood, you might want to skip like 15 seconds. I took a cotton ball, unrolled it, took the fluffy side, folding it on itself, and then I took a ton of this, poured it on, and then gently dabbed the top and bottom, but also held it on for a few minutes because I did, obviously, by cleaning it, make it bleed a little bit. And now I'm just leaving it. It was swollen after getting it for a short period of time, and the only bit that swelled up, obviously I'm not going to touch my ear, is the piece of skin here. Actually cleaning it was really easy. I'm just following my piercer's suggestions. I am going to run to a shop at some point and get some non-iodized sea salt. Not because I'm going to necessarily clean it with that, but just because, God forbid, it gets too swollen or I think it's going to get like funky. I want it available so that I can really quickly like do a sea salt soak. I had to do that a couple of times with this piercing, which I got in my teens. So when I had the piercing done, she gave me those circles again, and there were, in some of them, so the milder ones, there was a difference, and in some of the higher ones there were either no difference or a very small difference, which is still a bonus. My dad, I think, is popping out because we had Amazon drama, so let me sit down and I will talk you through our Amazon drama, because quite honestly, I don't entirely know what the hell's going on. Well, our Amazon driver might be getting an earful. My dad is not the person to piss off. Particularly when it comes to my health, and he would consider a new piercing very much a part of my health, which he'd be right, so he's very annoyed. I don't know, so it's a good thing I did grab this.
Day 3.
Okay guys, so excuse the way I look, but I ended up having a basically all morning nap because they kept me up stupidly late. Oh, I say stupidly late, pretty much all night, so I thought I would give you day 3 of the piercing. I've been sleeping with this pillow. So I do is that failed. I hook it onto like my shoulder here, and then I rest like that on my ear, so on my bed, and so my ear never comes in contact, but like the pillow can't move either because it's hooked onto me. So before I pop out real quick to go get a few things that we need, but I forgot yesterday, I thought I'd show you this piercing. Honestly, like, I'm cleaning it up to 3 times a day. So the first week, particularly with this piercing, I cleaned it 3 times a day, and then I went on to 2 times a day the following week, just because I found that's what works best for me. So currently I am cleaning it 3 times a day, once when I get up, once about now, and then once before I go to bed, because then it's definitely getting all the yucky crusties off and stuff like that. It is a little tender, but nothing too bad. Like if I were to put my finger along it by accident, something like that, or when I'm cleaning it and I'm putting a little pressure on it, that's when it kind of hurts. I don't take painkillers for it at all at this point, so that's always a good sign. And then this weekend I will probably do a small sea soak, just so that, you know, I've definitely pulled all like the blood etc out, just because it is a hard to clean place piercing. So I have pure sea salt. I'll boil some water, let it sit in the cup for a while, like get it nice and like warm, manageably warm, and then I will put my sea salt in, and I will just, what I tend to do, because I had to do it with this one, is I'll fill it up as far as I can, and then over the sink I will line my ear up with it, let it overflow, and then I'll just like hold my ear in it for a while. That ankle, which won't be comfortable, but at least it will get rid of any, like, I have a glass that will take my ear, so I have got small ears though, so obviously if that's not done for you, you can, or if that's not an easy option for you, you can take that sea soak, put it in that glass, and then take a cotton round or whatever and stick it in. Let that soak up some of the water, squeeze a little bit of the excess out, and then hold it on the piercing and like try and squish it in as much as you can, because that will help. And then again do the same for the bottom. I haven't done that yet, and if I will do it this weekend, and then if I feel the need to, I'll probably do it once a week for the next 12 weeks, which is how long I have to clean this piercing.
Day 4.
I have just washed my hands, but I'm going to give them a quick sanitize with my hand sanitizing gel. This is antibacterial, and the reason I'm doing that is just so that anything I've just touched, any germs possibly on anything, is gone. So I just washed the crusties away. I just took some warm water and some soap, and I just gave everything a quick wash, my hands included. So the bottom bit, this bit down here, great. This bit cleaning is a tad tender, but I think it's just like obviously because, you know, there's a lot of skin and stuff there. So what I'm gonna do is clean it. I'm gonna clean it with this sea salt spray. I'm really gonna get in there with it. So I am gonna take some cotton and just fold that up real quick, and I am actually also going to spritz some on there, and then obviously I'll redo it, but there you go, there's that in. I'll hold my hair out the way, and I'm going to get really in there. That a quick. I know I did just. Then I'm going to take the cotton swab, and I'm going to, okay, maybe I'm not going to take the cotton swab. I'm going to take the cotton pad and just gently, okay. So, my final thoughts on this piercing for the first week. I know everyone's pain threshold is different, so I'm not going to say this piercing is not the most painful. For me, it wasn't. And so far, the couple of headaches that I've had have been significantly milder than they have been. Whether that be because of the piercing or it's just all in my head, I don't know. As I said, she did actually do all the medical, like, nerve testings and stuff, and really tried to make sure it was going to be in the optimum spot. So I don't know if that makes any difference. Sorry, the camera keeps moving. I was moving it, cleaning up. As for cleaner, if I ever get the other one, I don't know. These two, I prefer this one for in ear, like the bit that's in, like, on, like, the opening of the ear canal, but I prefer this one for the tops up here. This stuff, I don't know how I feel. Honestly, this is easier to use because you just take a cotton swab and rub it around, and it is actually really soothing. This, it is an oil, I think would be better as a dropper or something where you could, like, drop it onto, like, a cotton bud easier, just because it's not the easiest thing, personally. But it seems to instantly soothe it. so I'm not gonna say whether it's useless. At this moment in time, I would say I would probably buy this if it had a spray bottle with this balm, and I probably will buy this balm again because, well, butter, because I think it'll be good for all my piercings in general, whether it's their new or not. I think it will work for all of them and it'd be soothing on all of them. So this is a big thumbs up, this is a meh, and both of these are thumbs up for their own rights. This one because it's easier to get into the bottom, this for the top, but I kind of wish I got more for my buck with this one, and this had like the squirty top. Piercing wise, it's only tender when I have to move it, and even then it's not like superly painful, it's just when I have to push up slightly to make sure I'm getting the crusties underneath the ball at the top. During the day there's no pain. The slight discomfort I get after cleaning it dissipates really quickly. I've had no infections, no bumps, no nothing so far, knock on wood. I mean, obviously we're only 5 days in, so this may change, and if this does change I will do a whole video on it and update you. But so far so good. I'm going to keep cleaning it, I'm going to keep doing like my once a week sea salts, all those things, and this is the end of the video. I will try and get more pictures of my piercing, have them up throughout this video. If you are interested in seeing how that journey goes, go ahead and check out my social medias, because I will probably be posting more about it on there in the in-betweens. And that's everything. Also, while you're here, don't forget to click that thumbs up button so I know you enjoyed this video, as well as clicking the subscribe button so you get notified every time that I upload. Also, don't forget to head down to the comment section and check out the comments, see if I've left one. I usually ask a question of everybody. If not, go interact with each other. Let's talk about your experiences, whether you want to get your Daith done. I know a lot of the videos about this piercing are super old now, so hopefully this will bring a whole newer perspective on it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.